So you heard in the past few days a lot about technology. There's so much going on when it's about, whether it's about wearables, whether it's about artificial intelligence in R&D, whether it's about robotic surgery, 3D printing. I think the level of change is unprecedented and is really fantastic, and certainly has now also found its way going into healthcare. And so I just want to talk about what, as a pharmaceutical industry and a pharmaceutical company, we are faced with. And I like this word, Eisenbahnscheinbewegung Risk. And probably only people in the room that would understand this are the German people in the audience. Now, the Germans are fantastic in putting together what seem to be two unrelated words and make a completely new word that has a different meaning. Germans are great in many things. I mean, really, they make great cars. They have strong economy, at least for a long time. They used to be a good football country as well. And they have this ability as well. Now, what does Eisenbahnscheinbewegung stand for? Eisenbahn is railway. And Scheinbewegung is that trick movement, and you see that often in soccer player, where a player actually gives the impression he's going to one side, but tricks his opponent by actually going to the other side. Now, Eisenbahnscheinbewegung itself is that effect that you're sitting in the train station, you're sitting on the train, and you're looking through the window, and you think, we're actually moving, the train is actually leaving the station. And then you come to realize it's not your train that's moving, it's actually another train that's moving. You're still standing still in the station. And I think that is the risk we face as an industry with the level of change that's going on. If we don't realize that our industry, our healthcare model is about to change, we're going to be the train that's left in the station. And the other train, whether it's going to be the tech companies or who else, is actually going to leave the station and take healthcare to the next level. And why is that risk there? Because the old ways still work. We in Janssen and EMEA closed 2018 with 18% growth. So if I talk about, we cannot be complacent, people often say to me, hey, Kris, what are you talking about? Is 18% growth not enough, maybe? So, and traditional competition is not pushing us to boost. The thing is, the revolution that is coming is largely invisible. I know immediately when our sales reps are not allowed in a Paris hospital to talk about our HIV medication. You know, that message goes immediately to the top. We're not getting access anymore. But when we see changing patterns of how we use technology and digital, we're very slow in seeing that because it's a lot of that is invisible and ongoing under the radar. And I like this phrase about John Kennedy, who used to say, the time to fix the roof is when the sun is shining, because then you actually have the time, the oxygen, the power, and it's really the right time to do it. Except, you know, when the sun is shining, a lot of people prefer to go to the beach in order to fix the roof. And that's the risk we also take, is going to the beach instead of really rethinking our business model. So that's that famous Eisenbahnscheinbewegung Risk. Now, I'm a big believer in the theory of the S-curve, that everywhere you're on an S-curve, and at some point when the curve, before it actually starts tapering off, you make the jump to the next curve. That's the success path of the most successful companies. That is on the blue dotted line that you see behind you. And as an industry, I think we did that. A lot of the innovative companies did that when really real-world evidence and market access became such a challenge. We invested a lot into that, and we jumped that curve. We jumped that first green curve to the second curve and got into an upswing. That is really, if I talk for Janssen, that got us out of that difficult period. We saw the potential of real-world evidence, we saw the potential of market access, and we jumped that curve, and we were already on a decline phase and took that second curve. Now we're actually on a different location here. And this is where technology and digital are really making their inroads into our industry. And again, we might still be on that upslope of that green curve, but let's make not a mistake. That curve is going to taper off. If you don't make the jump to the next curve, we're going to be in trouble. And that space between the two green curves, that's called myopia. That's lack of foresight about not understanding what is going to happen in our industry. So we better be awake and make that jump to the next curve, or otherwise we're going to be disrupted. Disruption rarely happens from within. At Janssen, we know very much what our competitors like Roche and Novartis and others are up to. But what the tech companies are up to, coming into, that's a lot harder. So we really have to phase into that reality. And it's not a bad thing. You just have to phase into the fact that this comes and changes the game that we're in. So the question is, what's next?